we are about to completely rewire your approach to motivation. I want you to forget everything you've ever heard about finding your passion or waiting for that spark of inspiration. Today, we're not waiting for anything. We are building a system to manufacture drive whenever you need it. This is the activation loop.
This right here, this one idea is the entire key. We treat motivation like it's the gasoline we need to start the car. But neurochemically, that is completely 100% backward. Motivation is not the cause of action, it's the effect. Just think about it for a second. You don't feel motivated to go to the gym before you're there, right? You feel motivated after you've warmed up, after your heart starts pumping. Motivation is the exhaust, the smoke that comes out after the engine is already running.
And this slide shows you exactly where we go wrong. Over on the left, you see the myth. We just wait. We wait for some feeling of inspiration to hopefully, maybe, lead to action. It's a totally passive, hope-based strategy, and honestly, it leaves you powerless. But now, look at the right. This is the truth. A tiny physical action, that's the spark. That action creates its own motivation, which then and only then builds into real, sustainable inspiration. We've been using the wrong equation this whole time. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to tear down the motivation paradox. Then we'll get into the biology of stuck. Why is it so hard to start? After that, we build the solution, the activation protocol. We'll look at the science of manufacturing your drive and then get super practical with your 5-minute ignition plan. And we'll wrap it all up with the new kinetic law that's going to change how you operate. Okay, first up, the motivation paradox. Before we can build this new system, we have to completely unlearn that old inspiration-first model that keeps so many of us trapped. You know that feeling, right? You're stuck on the couch, just scrolling, knowing you have a deadline. That is not a character flaw. It's a biological standoff. You're literally waiting for your brain to give you the chemical reward, that little hit of dopamine or adrenaline, for a job you haven't even started. It's like showing up to an office and demanding a paycheck before you've even logged on for your first day. Your brain is a ruthlessly fair accountant. It pays for work done, not work you're just thinking about. And here's the wiring that makes it happen, the Mesolimbic pathway. Think of this as your brain's core reward circuit. It's the gatekeeper for motivation. And the most important thing to know about it is this: it's not an intention sensor, it's a progress detector. It couldn't care less about your grand plans or your beautiful to-do list. It responds to only one signal: real, tangible, forward movement. Thinking about going to the gym does nothing. Taking one single step inside the door, that triggers the entire cascade. This is the new mantra. I want you to burn this into your brain. That feeling of being ready, of being in the zone, it's not some prerequisite you have to find before you begin. It's the prize you get for beginning. Action is the currency, and it's the only way to buy the feeling you've been waiting for. So, if that's true, why on earth does it feel so hard to just start? Well, let's pull back the curtain on the invisible forces keeping you locked in place. This is the biology of stuck, or what I call the neural veto. Let's meet the first biological villain, affective forecasting. When you look at a big, difficult task, like say writing that huge report, your brain does a quick and usually very wrong cost analysis. It wildly overestimates how much energy it's going to take to start, and it flags it as a threat. And that prediction? It shows up as a feeling we all know way too well: dread. That's just your brain's ancient survival code trying to save calories. And that dread creates our second villain, limbic friction. This is that heavy, sticky feeling of resistance, that brain fog that rolls in when you just think about opening that file. Look, this is not you being lazy. This is your brain's limbic system, a master of efficiency, literally switching into power save mode. It's actively creating biochemical friction to stop you from spending energy on something that hasn't proven its worth yet. I really need you to get this. That internal fight is not a weakness, it's a design feature. Your brain, in its quest to conserve energy, is casting a powerful neural veto on the action you want to take. From its point of view, sitting still is the safest, most logical thing to do. So you end up in this biological checkmate before you've even made a move. This analogy is just perfect. Your nucleus accumbens, that's the drive center of your brain, it's completely dormant. It's offline. So trying to think your way into feeling motivated at this point is, well, it's useless. It's like sitting in a dead car and just flipping the headlight switch over and over and over, wondering why the road isn't lighting up. The battery's disconnected. So, how do we reconnect the battery? How do we override that neural veto? This brings us to the absolute core of our deep dive today, the activation protocol. This is the blueprint for a biological forced start. This protocol stands on 3 pillars. First, the 5-minute non-negotiable launch. This is our friction killer. Second, the progress verification signal. This is how we send undeniable proof to our brain's reward center that we're moving. And third, the anticipatory dopamine hook, which links our start to a tiny immediate win. This isn't some mindset hack, it's a neurochemical ignition sequence. And let's be really clear about what we're doing. We are done trying to find motivation. That passive approach is over. From now on, we are actively hijacking the system. This protocol is engineered to manually feed your brain the exact signals it needs to see to flip that switch and flood your system with the chemicals of drive. We're making momentum a planned, inevitable result. This really shows the shift in identity we're talking about. On the left, you've got emotional dependency. You're like a sailboat, just sitting there, waiting for the wind of inspiration to maybe blow. Your performance is totally at the mercy of the weather. But on the right, that's kinetic mastery. You are the motorboat. You don't wait for conditions, you create them by turning on the engine yourself. So, why does this protocol actually work? I mean, what's happening in the brain? Let's pop the hood and look at the real neurochemistry of momentum while we manufacture some drive. Well, a big part of it is a powerful psychological principle called self-perception theory. See, you have this internal observer in your brain, and it's constantly watching your behavior to figure out who you are. So when it sees you sitting on the couch, it concludes, okay, we're a person who rests. But the moment it sees you take one tiny physical action toward a goal, it immediately updates its file. Oh, scratch that. We are a person who works on this. Your identity follows your actions, not the other way around. And this is the exact internal monologue your brain has the second you start. The debate is over, the neural veto is lifted, that whole internal argument just vanishes because now there's physical data it can't ignore. That biological declaration triggers noradrenaline for focus, dopamine for drive, and it primes the pump for everything that comes next. Now here's a really critical detail. Your brain doesn't wait until you finish the whole project to give you a reward. It rewards you the moment it realizes, hey, this is working. We're actually making progress. This is what's called a positive reward prediction error. By creating a tiny micro-win in the first 5 minutes, you prove to your brain that its first prediction, that this would be hard and awful, was wrong. And that positive error signal is the direct trigger for a dopamine hit. This creates this incredible cascade called the winner effect. Each tiny action you take doesn't just move you forward, it biochemically changes your state, making the next action feel about 10% easier. That limbic friction starts to dissolve. It's like compounding interest for momentum. The first step is the hardest, the second is 10% easier, the third is easier still, and before you know it, you're in a state of flow. Okay, theory is great, but let's make this real. How do you use this the very next time you feel stuck? This is your 5-minute ignition. This is the practical, tactical application of the whole system. Now, this is the single most important rule for the ignition phase, so listen up. For the first 5 minutes, you have to suspend all judgment. Your goal is not to do good work. Your goal is simply to move. Write one awful sentence. Make a messy spreadsheet. Just open the darn file. Perfectionism is the ultimate form of limbic friction. By giving yourself permission to be imperfect, you obliterate the barrier to entry. Your ego is the enemy of activation. Here's your playbook. Step 1. Set a timer for 300 seconds. 5 minutes, that's it. It creates a safe, non-threatening box for that initial discomfort. Step 2. Move the tool. Pick up the pen, open the laptop, put on one running shoe, do one physical thing as badly as you need to. Step 3, verify one micro-win. Write just the subject line of the email. Tie that one shoelace. Cross that tiny thing off a list. This is your progress verification signal. And step 4, when that timer goes off, just notice. Notice how that heavy feeling of dread is just gone. You've literally changed your neurochemical state. Because look, the ultimate goal of that 5-minute sprint isn't about the work you produce. It's about the identity you activate. You are using physical action as undeniable proof to your own brain that you are no longer a person who is about to work. No, you are a person who is working. You've turned the engine on. Now all that's left is to steer. And that brings us to our final section. Let's boil all of this down into a new law of physics for your own performance. This is the new kinetic law. It's the philosophy that will make your drive a self-generating, unstoppable force. It all comes down to these 3 principles. 1, Motivation is a chemical byproduct of action, not some magical prerequisite you have to go find, so stop looking for it. 2. Greatness isn't about having more willpower than everyone else. It's about having a more reliable ignition sequence. And 3, and this one is so freeing, you don't need to feel like it to be elite. You just need a system to start moving, and the feeling will always catch up. If you take absolutely nothing else away today, please take this. This is the entire philosophy in a single, simple command. Stop scanning your feelings for permission to start. The feeling you're looking for isn't hiding in your head. It's waiting for you on the other side of that first step. Go find it. And so I'll leave you with this question. Not for tomorrow, not for later today, for right now. Think of that one thing you've been putting off, the one that gives you that familiar, heavy feeling of dread. Now, set a timer for 300 seconds and just move the tool. Give yourself permission to do it badly for just 5 minutes. Break the seal, ignite the engine. The feeling you've been searching for is right there on the other side. So, what will you ignite in the next 5 minutes?